Hey baby, what you had for lunch today? How much of love is there in one sentence, isn't there?
Yes.
Dear Modi, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Raise your hands if your mom still thinks you are a baby. My mom is no different. That's why she calls me every day to ask the same question. What you had for lunch, baby? Mommy. Silly mommy. Silly mommy. She was always like that. My story starts in the year 1995 when I was born in Muzaffarpur city of Bihar. I was born to highly educated but poor parents. My mom has MSc in biology and my dad has PhD in philosophy. But back then, he had no job. He struggled to make his and his wife's ends meet. They had an intense desire to buy new clothes for their newborn baby, but they couldn't afford it. So they started saving money, and by the end of 1 year, they had saved 50 rupees. They went to a nearby market and purchased a lovely pink dress for their 1-year-old son. Mommy tells me that I looked like a prince in that dress. Mommy, silly mommy, she was always like that. Year 1996, my dad got a job as a lecturer in government university. And with that, our financial worries came to an end. We had roof to stay and food to eat. Still, we couldn't afford luxury like TV or fridge. I grew up playing with homemade toys like leaf cups and paper boats. And to entertain me were mommy's lullabies and stories. My parents had a taste in literature, and I inherited that from them. At a very early age, I grew fond of books. My papa is an author and a shair, Urdu poet, and from him I learned Hindi and Urdu. Mommy taught me English and science. My life was so exuberant back then. My parents made learning so much fun for me. And this is the part of my life, ladies and gentlemen, that I call love. Year 2006. At the age of 11, I was in a boarding school, and that marked the beginning of doomsday for me. Here, people were mean to me, and I missed my mom and dad. I had no one to talk to about dwarves, about fairies, Indian freedom struggle, or climate change. I was with those tech gen kids who mocked me for my ignorance about technology. I stopped talking to people, and in my early teen, I fell in the well of depression. I do not have much recollection of that time. When I look back through window of time, all I see is intense fear, self-guilt, self-hatred, utter loneliness and sickening anxiety. And after that, my mind goes blank. Maybe I do not remember. Maybe I do not want to remember. And this is the part of my life, Toastmasters, that I call loss. Year 2014, I was in VIT where 3 miracles happened to me. First, at the age of 19, I made my first friends. Every day, we would sit on the dinner table and have loads of laughter and light banter. Laughing with those idiots, I completely forgot about my loneliness. Second miracle was a rich library. Stumbling in the labyrinth of bookshelves, I came across the revolutionary novelist Ayn Rand, and she reinstated my faith in myself, made me love myself, and kindled a torch of hope in my heart. Her 2 magnum opuses, The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, changed my life forever. The dark had eventually given way to the dawn. And then came the time for third miracle. When I was in 3rd year of engineering, I came to know about this weird club with weird people doing weird talking. Oh boy, this is what I was longing for. A stage and opportunity to narrate my story. From Sankalp, I became Toastmaster Sankalp, and Solve VIT Toastmasters became my family. Under the loving and supportive environment of my club, I progressed by leaps and bounds. 1 year down the line, and I was not only speaking, but speaking up. I was influencing people, and it was then that my untapped potential of leadership was tapped. Nothing made me happier than people coming to me and telling me how my speech made a difference in their lives. It was such a humbling experience. I realized that my words have power, and that realization made me even more responsible, and that responsibility made me even more dedicated and hardworking. And this is the part, ladies and gentlemen, that I call life. So this was my story of love, loss, and life. Even today, I cannot claim that my life is perfect. In fact, it's far from it. But the torch of hope kindled in my heart says, as long as I live, I will strive to become better and better and better. Over to TM Modi.